Hello, Diggersby enthusiasts. It's A12 bringing you Week 6 of the BBR D-League against Bope. Bope's team features a strong aquatic theme, with 30% being water types or fish Pokemon. While normally, I'm afraid of the ocean, fortunately, this gives Bope a critical weakness. His only ground type is Sandslash, if he brings it, which, if he does, that's already a win for us, because, I mean, it's a Sandslash, come on. So, to attempt to drown his fishes, and take advantage of his crippling electric weakness, we are bringing a Choice Specs Jolteon. We're also bringing an Assault Vest Terra Water Hydrapple to attempt to slow down his aquatic creatures, but honestly, I expect this to be more an offensive game. The rest of the team is pretty standard, so I'll save it for the battle. But before we begin, let me leave you with a critical question. Will we outswim the fishes, or sink and drown in defeat? Either way, we're in deep water. Let's beat some fishes back to the kiddie pool, where they belong.
Yay!
Okay, my opponent has no ground, so my Jolteon's going to look absolutely amazing here, especially after I can get a little bit of chip on that Iron Hands. In terms of expected leads, I think he's probably going to lead to Iron Hands here, because otherwise he's put really on the back foot by my Jolteon lead, which I think he's probably going to expect. So, expecting the Iron Hands lead, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lead. I actually don't have a good lead into Iron Hands. It could be Roselli Berry, so I don't want to lead Emo Galade. But he has two Dark types, so I don't want to lead. Yeah, I'm just going to lead the Emo Galade. Force him to reveal whether he's Roselli Berry early. I'll probably double out, honestly, but we'll see what he does. I'm definitely expecting Hands lead. I mean, anything else is so risky into my potential Jolteon. Since Jolteon Volt Switches are just so free here. The only reason why I didn't lead Jolteon on the Iron Hands is if that Iron Hands is rocking like Ice Punch or something, I don't really have a good direct switch into it. As he leads Iron Hands like I expected, I'm going to lead my Emo Galade. Now here, I can make it double out. But I'm not going to do that, actually. I'm just going to Raw Moonblast. It does risk my Iron Valiant, which does take away one of my endgame win conditions. But at the same time, I think it's worth it, as this Iron Hand's going down will be very big, and there's a chance he stays in, not expecting me to be Specs Modest if he's like an AV set. He could potentially also go Skarmory, but since I'm rocking Modest Specs, I will be able to two-shot that Skarmory, assuming it isn't specially defensive. Which I don't think specially defensive Skarmory makes any sense in this matchup, and he is thinking about this for a long time, which is telling me he is not Roselli Berry, as yep, if he was Roselli Berry, he would have just brain dead pressed Heavy Slam there, so we do have information, which is good. He goes down to Noah, Basculadron. He's going to take a big jump from this Moonblast. Just about half, okay. Special attack falls. Since it's special attack fail, and this is a special attacker, I might actually just Moonblast again, as he doesn't really have any priority. Yeah, I'm just going to Moonblast again. He has no priority. And he's not going to be able to one-shot me with anything. The reason why I'm not going out directly into Hydrapple is if he opts to Ice Beam here, I could be in a little bit of trouble. I could also go the Jolteon play, but if he flip turns, that would be a little bit scary. So I'm just going to Moonblast. If he surprises me and he's like a physical set, he surprises me and he's a physical set. So he lives. Flip turn. Okay, that'll do about half. Surely fine. So now this thingy, I keep on forgetting its name, is because it's a newer Pokemon. The Basculadron is basically dead. It's gonna be sack fodder for him essentially at this point. He'll probably sack it to a Volt Switch at some point in the game. Here, he knows that I am Specs Iron Valiant at this point, so likely he goes out into Chi-Yu if he wants to make kind of like an aggressive play. He could also go out into Skarmory if he wants to make the more passive one. He goes Chi-Yu, making the aggressive play. Fair enough. And I'm just going to go out into Hydrapple here. My Hydrapple is rocking Assault Vex, max special defense, so it will be able to 1v1 this. And if he is Vex Overheat, he would need an absolute max roll. Like, I'm not exaggerating. A complete max roll to one-shot my Hydrapple with Specs Modest Overheat. Which I don't think he's going to get. I am a risky player. I mean, he's definitely Terraing here, it's super obvious, but not a whole lot I can do about it. So I go out into my better Hydra. I should be able to take basically any one hit this once and go for it. I mean, he might be Specs. Yeah, I mean, he's probably Specs, honestly. But that's okay. We do take a Flamethrower. And we'll play from there. Flamethrower. We'll find out if he Specs this turn. Yeah, that looks to be about Specs damage. Okay, so I'm just gonna Terra, and I'm gonna Terra Blast this. Yeah, I believe if he goes Sylveon, I have the Slowking, which can check it. And once this is Terra'd, this Chi-Yu is a lot less of a threat, as I don't really have to worry about Specs Fire Move anymore. Yeah, actually, no, that might not be Specs. No, that has to be Specs. There's no way it does that much damage if it's not Specs. It's I'm AV Max Special Defense. I mean, I know Chi-Yu is haha Chi-Yu, funny move, but Burst Fish, Fire against my Hydrapple. He might not be Specs. Actually, no, he is Specs. He is Specs. That was just like a lower roll at Specs. Uncle Bandwagon, fair enough. I knew that the Iron Hands was a potential play on his end, but at the same time, I didn't really want to risk. Yeah, I didn't really want to risk potential Appletone. Why? I don't want to risk a situation later on in the game where he could freely press Fire Moves with his Chi-Yu. So even though I'm not gonna do a whole lot with this Terra Blast, it's gonna do a little bit. And that is not AV. Okay. I definitely have to switch out here, and I'm gonna go straight out into my Royalty, which will be able to take a Thunder Punch as I'm running max defense. If he is Supercell Slam, he got me good, what can I say? But I also don't think you're going to bring Supercell Slam into the Ursaluna matchup. He can go for an aggressive Earthquake here. That is a play on his end. A very good play on his end. But at the same time, if he does make the aggressive Earthquake play, that does risk my potential Braviary switch in, which is a potential option for me as well here. So I imagine he just Thunder Punches. Yeah, he could Volt Switch. Volt Switch is definitely a possibility for him too, but at the same time, I don't think he'll Volt Switch. Oh no, he doubles, so he isn't rocking Volt Switch. Good to know. That was an aggressive play. So he knew my Slowking was going out. Apparently fine. I am running max defense on it, so I will be scared out here. There's a very good chance this can be like a Specs Grass Knot Greninja, which I am well aware it's a very big threat. But Grass Knot shouldn't be able to take out my better Hydra. Will Dark Pulse even take out my Royalty at this range? I mean, I get that Royalty being chipped does create a situation where certain of his endgames are better, but let's see. So a Specs Dark Pulse will be able to kill me. So the question is, do I think he's going to be Specs? And do I want to risk it? Because there's also a role where I live, so I am going to risk it here. He has to be Specs in order to kill, and he also might just go for Grass Knot aggressively, or he could go for Spikes, revealing Protean Ground type. Fair enough, fair enough. But this does give me a free switch into my funny Jolteon, which can go for the thingy, the funny move. So we get Chilly Reception off. So we do have the Weather Ball boost now. And is that what we go for here? Speed, let me think. What happens if he goes Sylveon? He goes Sylveon. I still have my Glowking. And I'll find out whether that Sylveon is running like special defense or not. So yeah, I think my Jolteon is the play here and fire off a Weather Ball. And hope he doesn't expect the Weather Ball shenanigans, or hope he thinks that I think he's Battle Bond, which I don't think he's Battle Bond. I saw the Protean trigger. I mean, he could be Sash Greninja. Yeah, Sash Greninja is a possibility. I don't think it's a very good one, though. I feel like that Sylveon isn't max specially defensive. It's because if it was max specially defensive, I think it would have switched into my thingy before. No, he does just stay in. Is he Sash? He is Sash. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. And do you go for Spikes again, or do you attack? You go for Spikes again. Fine. Generally fine. I'll just have to defog him later. and create an opportunity to defog later. Which I think I should be able to do. Oh no. He's gonna go Chi-Yu this turn, isn't he? Yeah, he's probably gonna go Chi-Yu and probably gonna Dark Pulse. Ooh. And since he specs... I think he specs Timid with the damage output it was doing to my Hydrapple. And specs... Yeah, specs Timid. I don't know if that'll two-shot my Hydrapple at this range after spikes. Yeah, that was an obvious play on his end. I probably should have made an aggressive play expecting Chi-Yu. Oh no, he goes this! Is this gonna be AV? If it's not AV, it's gonna take a very large amount from this Weather Ball. I'm specs. Yeah, he is not AV. So I could just Weather Ball again. I mean, he might go out into Chi-Yu, but that's generally okay. Yeah, as we now, this is his only Electric Resist. So soon I'm gonna be able to just kind of spam Thunderbolts for free. So Hands goes down. What he has left is a weakened Basculegion, a Skarmory, and a couple other Pokemon. Is Chi-Yu, no, I don't know if his Greninja can even win endgame though. It's because it's Sash Protean. I think his endgame has to be Chi-Yu, and to weaken, yeah, his endgame definitely has to be Chi-Yu, and create a situation where he weakens my faster Pokemon, as my team's a little bit on this lower end, which I'm sure he's well aware of. I'm sure he's doing calcs, probably finding out the M-Specs. Yeah, if that's Chi-Yu, he definitely knows M-Specs. Yep. Chi-Yu, he definitely knows M-Specs. I mean, I can go Hydrapple, is because even if he Dark Pulses, I know that he specs, so I could just double out into my Iron Valiant immediately after if he Dark Pulses. Which I am expecting this turn, but that's okay. These spikes are going to be a little annoying, and I probably shouldn't have killed Hands that turn, as Hands was one of the few Pokemon I could really defog against. As now the only Pokemon I can realistically defog against is probably the Skarmory, as I don't want to risk a Calm Mind Sylveon. Dark Pulse should do about like 30%. No, he Fire Blasts. That's not gonna, yeah, that's not gonna take me out. So Snow stops. I imagine you go Sylveon here. Do I Heavy Slam? Or do I double to Braviary and try to get a defog off? Yeah, I like my double to Braviary play. You're definitely not Saiyan. Yeah, I mean, you're probably going Sylveon. Sylveon's your most specially defensive Pokemon. Yep, Sylveon. If I wanted to play really aggressively, I could have brought my Ursaluna out on this, but that's generally okay. I just want to get these hazards off the field. And potentially Toxic Test. So I'm going to defog. If he is Calm Mind, he is Calm Mind. Good on him. I do have a Toxic Slowking in the back, which will be able to take it. So I'd defog. I also have a max speed Ursaluna. Shadow Ball? Okay, fair enough. Shouldn't take me out. Yep, doesn't take me out. I can actually go Hydrapple here and fire off funny moves. I do have Heavy Slam. If I want to make an aggressive play, I can go Frogger Speed. The risk of Frogger Speed is if he does go for the Hyper Voice, I am a max HP Frogger Speed, so I'm going to be taking like massive chip. So instead of doing that, I'm actually just going to go out into my better Hydra and play from there. The reason why I'm not going directly out into Glowking is that I don't want to risk Glowking getting Shadow Balled, as I'm running like max defense on it. I have no special defense. He's Baton Pass, so he isn't Calm Mind. I don't have to worry about that in endgame. Cool. So Sylveon is Baton Pass, Shadow Ball, Hyper Voice is because Hyper Voice is super obvious when you run Sylveon, and last move is probably Wish or something. So that's good. That means his only endgames really are at this point of the game are Chi-Yu and Greninja. And Greninja is brought down to its Sash, and Chi-Yu I don't think is going to be able to make a whole lot of progress against my Hydrapple. I'm really surprised that he opted to sack Iron Hands, as Iron Hands was really the only thing he had that I think can apply enough offensive pressure to my Hydrapple. Show him. That's a new Pokemon. Skarmory. Yeah, I'm running stupid. I have no special attack on that, so I'm just gonna go out into my Braviary and spam Defogs on his Stealth Rocks. If he Brave Birds, finding Brave Birds, that just gives me an opportunity to bring Jolteon in, which I'm okay with. And we'll see what he does. I imagine you just Stealth Rock here. Iron Defense, interesting. You brought... I don't know why you would bring ID into... My team is super special heavy, so that play kind of confuses me. I think I just Esper Wing here. If he goes out into Greninja, good on him, but I think he's going to fear the flying move. Especially since if his Greninja goes down, he really has no endgame. But since his Skarmory is... Since this Skarmory is Iron Defense, I don't think he has an endgame in general. Gibby? Sylveon? Are you running leftovers, Sylveon? That isn't leftovers. I don't know if that's like AV or not. No, it's not AV, it's because it's Baton Pass. I'm just gonna bring out Royalty here. Royalty really does kind of nothing, honestly. It's because Royalty was here specifically to be able to Toxic a potential Calm Mind Sylveon and to check the Iron Hands. Since Iron Hands is out of the way and this isn't Calm Mind Sylveon, I don't really need my Slowking for anything. I'm just gonna fire off Toxic, kind of slowly get chip. If he goes Shiyu, fine, he goes Shiyu. Not the end of the world. If he goes Skarmory, fine, he goes Skarmory. I can just Flamethrower that. He revealed he is an Iron Defense set. So he is likely Iron Defense, Roost, Body Press, and probably Brave Bird or something to hit my Iron Valiant. So he isn't running Stealth Rocks. The only hazards he has are the spikes on the Greninja, which the Greninja is down to its Sash, so it won't be able to really get much spikes off. What do you go here? I mean, you probably go Chiyu, but oh no, you just stay on. Okay, does a little bit. I get my Toxic off. Put this on a timer. Not really a big deal. It's on a timer, but timer's a timer. Huh. You're just gonna kind of hear me rambling, honestly. Do I think Shadow Ball will kill me at this range? No, he shouldn't kill me with this next Shadow Ball. So even if he goes for it, fine. I don't really need my Royalty for anything. And if he goes for the Palm Pass, I'll get momentum. So that's the reason why I made that play. There's literally no downside to Chilly Reception here. And since he has no ground type, I can Chilly Reception safely out into my Jolteon and kind of get a free kill. As, yeah, it's his Sylveon's end timer, his Chiyu is Specs. Yeah, I can just kind of go Jolteon here and Volt Switch, and there's nothing he can do. Oh, I love Jolteon so much more than I love Raikou. And I mean, that isn't saying much. I hate Raikou with my guts, but yeah, Jolteon is just so much better. It's because Jolteon is, with his base 130 speed tier, it's going to be able to outspeed his entire team and just apply a ton of offensive pressure. So I'm just going to go Jolteon. Volt Switch, there's no downside. Basically done. There's nothing you can do. If you go Sylveon, you're letting your Sylveon get chip, and you will give me a free turn of Ursaluna. Do I think he preserves? No, he doesn't. Okay. Jolteon takes out the Basculation. The funny fish. So what he has left is a Specs Terrifier Chiyu, a Greninja, which is down to its Sash, an Iron Defense Skarmory, and I don't know what he can do at this point. I think I just go Hydrapple here. Is there anything Hydrapple's bad on neutral? No. Yeah, just go Hydrapple here. I'm running Heavy Slam on it, so I will be able to take out that Sylveon slowly but surely, especially since that's a Toxic, so it's on a timer. The only thing my Hydrapple is going to lose to is that Skarmory. But he doesn't know that I have no special attack. Actually, no, he does know that I have no special attack on this Hydrapple at this point. Yeah, he knows. He knows. He knows. But that's okay. I know you're not. I know you're not Stealth Rock on this. You're just Iron Defense. Since you're just Iron Defense, I'm gonna go out into my Slowking, which is rocking the Flamethrower. If there's no way you bring, there's no way you bring mono body press into Iron Valiant. Central. He's gonna make no progress. There's no progress to be made. Even if you Dark Pulse, there's nothing really I fear from that. So even though, ooh, flashy double, I think this game is kind of over. I don't really see an end game for him. If he Dark Pulses, Dark Pulse isn't going to be able to 3-hit KO, I don't think. So, yeah. I think he's kind of screwed. I mean, maybe he makes an aggressive double out into Greninja, which is Grass Knot, and he, like, continually makes aggressive plays and tries to get himself back in it that way, but even if he does, that doesn't really do a whole lot. Fire Blast, that's going to do nothing. We take those! Yeah, that does nothing. I grapple. No! Okay, that puts him back in the game. That definitely puts him back in the game. Wow. Yeah. If you now Fire Blast and Dark Pulse are going to be able to do a very large chunk. Yeah, now Fire Blast is going to be able to 3-hit KO me. I don't think it's going to completely put him back in the game, but it's going to allow him to get a kill so I won't get the 6-0. Yeah, SBI, yeah. If Hydrapple goes down here, he can potentially win with like an endgame Chiyu. So, would sack. Does Slowking really do any, yeah. No, Speed, this is burned. I still kind of like Slowking for that Sylveon. I think it's time to sack Braviary. Yeah, Braviary doesn't do a whole lot at this point. It's because, I mean, it will be able to defog if that Greninja spikes, but even if that Greninja spikes, I don't know how much it's really going to be able to do. So he hits Fire Blast again, but yeah. Burn prevented my funny shenanigans. But we know that you are Specs, so we can go out at Jolteon here and Volt Switch, and there's nothing you can do, as you do not have a ground type. Okay. So we're just going to fire off Volt Switch and get a kill. We'll either get a kill or weaken that Sylveon further. If we weaken that Sylveon further, we can Volt Switch out into our Ursaluna, and the combination of Facade and Supercell Slam should be able to take out that Skarmory, assuming we don't miss. I think he's got to think about this, and I think he's going to go Sylveon. As right now, this Chiyu is the only thing really kind of keeping him in the game. Yeah, he's going to go Sylveon, as Chiyu is the only thing that's really, like, not... It's the only thing keeping this, like, relatively not over. Volt Switch, large chunk, and I could just go Frog Moon here. And, yeah. Facade, Supercell Slam KOs max defense Skarmory. So unless he's like Iron Defense Speed Crypt, I think he's kind of cooked. I can also just raw Supercell Slam here, honestly, which is kind of tempting. Yes, Supercell Slam will still take this out. It's not running Protect. He doesn't have a ground type, so Supercell Slam it is. Probably going to be Skarmory. The reason why I didn't go Trailblaze there is that if that Skarmory is Rocky Helmet, it can potentially like cause issues for me. So yep. Yeah, so it is Rocky Helmet. Facade does take him out at this range, so I can click Facade to take him out pretty safely. As I did the calcs beforehand, like the only way that Supercell Slam to Facade doesn't kill a max defense Skarmory is if I get like the complete minimum roll, as I'm pretty sure at minimum Supercell Slam plus Facade does like 98 to 99%. And it looked like I didn't get the absolute minimum on that Supercell Slam, so we will take him out here. He's probably freaking out thinking, oh no, I brought this specifically to be able to deal with Ursaluna and it doesn't. Well, it definitely doesn't. So Skarmory down. All he has left is Sylveon, which is chipped, Greninja, and Chiyu. So we probably will be able to get a late game Jolteon sweep off. I think the only thing really preventing my late game Jolteon sweep is if that Sylveon is able to one-shot me with something, which I don't think it should. Jolteon is really good special defense. And by really good, I mean base 95. But that should be good enough to take a especially defensive Sylveon Hyper Voice. I mean, I think he's contemplating like how he could potentially win this, but at this point I think we're just playing for differential. You have to go Chi-Yu here. Like, you don't have a choice. Your Greninja's Protean. Actually, no, he might not go Chi-Yu if he expect. No, he does go Chi-Yu. Okay. That's fine. How much? No. 2 Fire Blasts will be able to take out my Hydra Apple. Does he have Moonblast Switch and Don't want to sack Fardersby here. But I take a sack this turn. I think we're in a sack war right now. Yeah, we're in a sack war right now. Let me think. If I lose Ursaluna, is there any way that Sylveon wins? No, that Sylveon actually can potentially win this if I let Ursaluna go down. So instead of doing that, I'm going to sack my Iron Valiant, which doesn't really do... I mean, Iron Valiant is a win condition here, but it's not the best win condition that I have. I think Jolteon is my best win condition. So you go for the Flamethrower, fine. You take out my Emo Gallade, and we're in a sack war. But I'm pretty sure Jolteon wins at this point. I'm going to have to run some calcs, but... yeah. Yes, but I think I just Thunderbolt a couple times, and since that thing is toxic, it's not going to be able to really do a whole lot. I'm just trying to think if he somehow lives a hit with like Sylveon, can I lose? I lost it. I don't know. We'll see if Sylveon gets KO'd here, I imagine. Unless you're sacking Greninja. Okay, sacking Greninja, fair enough. Thunderbolt. And here you definitely go Sylveon, and you definitely Baton Pass, I imagine. Or you could Hyper Voice. Does Hyper Voice at all kill my Jolteon? As I know he's special defensive Sylveon at this point. Jolteon. No, even if Jolteon is like max special attack, it doesn't kill. Yeah, even if Jolteon's max special attack, it doesn't kill. So I can just Thunderbolt a couple times again. Yeah. Maybe if he crits. No, he would need to be max special attack and crit. Which that's a lot needed to happen in order to be able to get back in this game. Unless Jolteon does less than I think with his Thunderbolt. But even if it does less than I think with his Thunderbolt, I can just go out into something else and kind of revenge with that. Yeah, it does do that amount. Yep, he Baton passes. So that's a good game. Our Jolteon wins. Let's go. So now we are 4-2 in a very good position for playoffs. One more win, I think, is going to clinch playoffs for us. But, yeah. Playoffs good. So we get to take down the scary Fish Greninja team. Bope, I think, played that pretty well. I think he was a little disadvantaged matchup-wise, as Hydrapple is like one of the best blanket special defense checks in the game, and his team is super special heavy. And he also has really bad ground types, so Jolteon kind of goes God mode. Like, his only ground type was Sandslash, which Sandslash will get like to a KO'd by Alluring Voice anyways. I think the only way he had realistically of winning this game was using Iron Hand strategically to break down my teams and check my Jolteon. But even then, it's difficult, is because Iron Hands will slowly get chipped down by Volt Switches. So that was kind of an unfortunate matchup for him. But we'll take the win, and we will move on to 4-2, and see you guys next week.